What's good, y'all? It's Mo, and welcome back to another episode of Stop and Refuel. Today, we talking about artificial intelligence, AI. And if you're someone like me and you like to use it for business, for school, for personal projects, or whatever you could be working on, do that. But I realize y'all be giving away too much sauce to these language models, these chatbots, whether you're using OpenAI or whatever you could possibly be using. We just be giving away too much personal information, too much details about what we're trying to do when we don't need to. Why be careful? Really, it boils down to two simple things. The first thing, AI, it learns off what you be saying. So you being you, trying to get the response that you want to get. If you give it really detailed ideas, it might learn them and then give a similar idea to someone else. And you can't do nothing about that. I mean, it's been over the whole internet. Front, back, left, right, about face, anything you can think of. This AI it's probably read it, it's probably touched it, it's probably looked at it. Number two, it was never designed to be something to keep secrets. It was never designed to be something confidential. It's like sharing your ideas in a big classroom. You never know who about to hear what you just said. And you can't blame them for it either, because you said it out loud in a classroom that y'all all in. Now, we get into how do we ask these questions to AI safely. And I think we can break this down in about 6 simple steps, all right? So bear with me. Just bear with me real quick. And the first one is to be general and not specific. That means be abstract and conceptualize what you're trying to convey. Instead of giving it a complete, detailed description of your idea, focus on the concepts of your idea. And think about the big picture. It's like, for me, describing the color, smell, look, and feel of a flower without having to tell the AI exactly what type of flower I'm talking about. I want it to take and think on its own, give me the different flower options that might be available. If I see the one that I was actually talking about, I can dive deeper into that. Some examples of this would be, instead of saying, I want to make an app where kids can trade their Pokemon cards online, try something like, I'm thinking about ways to make it easy for people to share things they have with others online. This is a lot more general, and you're not talking about Pokemon or you're not talking about cards, but you're learning that foundation, so when you get there, you can dive deeper. Another example would be asking, I'm creating a new kind of robot that can cook pizza. Try using something more along the lines of, what are some ways to make food preparation easier? Or what are some ways to cook dough faster and easier? Number 2, focus on the general task at hand and ask how questions. And what this means is, ask the AI to help you with parts of your idea, like doing research or brainstorming, instead of asking it to create the whole thing. It's like asking for help with a recipe for a cake, but you're not asking for the whole cake to be made. Because you know what they say? Can't have your cake and eat it too. In this case, you wouldn't get either. So some examples for this would be asking, hey, help me write a book about a talking cat detective. Instead of that, try something like, what are some things that make detective stories interesting? Or what are some type of problems that detectives have to solve? Then you can brainstorm and incorporate your cat idea into that after the fact. Number 3, break down your idea into a lot smaller pieces. And what this means is, instead of thinking about your whole idea at once, then ask about it in smaller parts. It's like building with Legos, or if you Franklin Saint, you just doing it brick by brick. You're working on it one piece at a time, and you're not trying to do everything at once. You know you gotta go slow and steady to win the race, or else you're gonna have this AI tripping and talking about things or bringing up stuff, and it's like you're trying to be like, no, I didn't mean that. And it's so hard to revert that conversation back to a mindset for it to actually focus and move past that. Some examples of this would be, instead of saying, I have a great idea for a new board game, tell me how to make it, you could try something like, how do you make board games fun? Or what are some different ways to keep score in a board game? Now you're just exploring different ways to understand how these board games work, and you can ask follow-up questions that make sense, especially those how questions. 4, using what-if scenarios, and this is just playing a hypothetical game. It's like pretending and imagining different ways of how things could be. For example, instead of saying, how should I design my new online store for selling art? Try, what if there was a website where anyone could show off and sell their art? What would that look like? And how would that work? Now, me personally, I love to add that little sauce to the end of it. I ain't asking too much now. I just want to ask what it looked like because I want to see what I'm getting myself into before I really get there. So I ain't just wasting time. And that's why we're using these systems so we can save our time. So ask the what if questions before you get into the how questions. Another example would be, instead of asking, how do I build a self-driving car? Try something along the lines of, what if cars could drive themselves? What kind of safety features would they need? And what would that look like? All right, y'all, we getting close now. Number 5, be vague. Be vague about the market you talking about. Keep it mysterious. They don't need to know everything. This means don't give AI very specific details about who your idea is for. And some examples for this would be, instead of saying stuff like, help me design a website for my local bakery, try something like, what are some things that are important for any business to have on their website? That way you can make sure you got those and then tailor it towards a bakery. And last but not least, number 6, you want to be a detective. So you want to analyze and investigate. You don't want to create what you're coming up with. So what this means is, instead of asking the AI to create something brand new, ask it to look at things that already exist and tell you the good or bad about it. So instead of saying, hey, design a new backpack for me, try, what are some pros and cons of the different type of backpacks that people are already using? So now you're asking it to analyze the existing backpacks, and now you can get feedback on what's working and what's not. And since you stayed this far, I got a bonus gem. I guess we can call it number 7, lucky number 7, whatever. And this kind of relates back to number 2. It's to focus on the problem and not the solution. A lot of times we get in these chatbots, it's like, I want this to do, that does this and this and this and that. And it's like, you already telling it everything you want it to do. And it's like, you only focused on the solution when you should be focused on the problem. When you start asking your questions based on the problem that you actually have and not the solution that you're trying to get, you get a lot better answers, and you can actually deep dive, break down things so much better, and learn stuff that you didn't think you'd need to know about what you're looking for. Because at the end of the day, if you're only looking for solutions, you're just going to get a solution that somebody else already put out there. All solutions ain't bad solutions. So if you already know what you're trying to do, you can go ahead and do that. So in essence, we're utilizing this AI to still get help, but at the end of the day, we're keeping our ideas a little bit more safe and secure the best we can be. So by utilizing some of these strategies, you can utilize artificial intelligence to get you what you need without giving up all your secret, giving up all your sauce. Use the AI to help you with small parts of your idea, ask general questions, and think about big problems. Don't share your full secrets, your full plans, just like you wouldn't be telling everybody your password. In this way, you can have fun using these AI systems and keeping your secrets and your intentions safe. And please let me know in the comments if you got any tips and tricks that you like to use to keep your ideas safe and secure when you're using these AI chatbots, these platforms. And also let anybody else know what kind of things they should be avoiding, what kind of things that they should be doing. So remember, no matter how busy life gets and no matter how fast technology is moving, taking a break, reevaluating your priorities, and refueling yourself will always be important. So till next time.